Give me your keys. My son is taking your car to school. If you refuse it, I'm calling the cops.
No way! This is my car. You can't take it.
Officers, arrest him.
I live in this neighborhood where peace of mind doesn't exist. Not even a little. It's the kind of place where you wake up hoping for a calm day, only to be reminded that calmness is impossible because everything here is ruled by Karen, the self-appointed HOA president. She walks around like a monarch who never got crowned, issuing demands nobody asked for and enforcing rules nobody agreed to. Her smug personality floats ahead of her like a warning sign, chin tilted up, hands on hips, and a permanent scowl that suggests she's offended by the concept of joy itself. I tried staying under her radar, but recently I made a purchase that would drag me directly into her spotlight. My dream car. A Lamborghini. Sleek, powerful, loud, everything I've wanted for years. I knew it would get attention, but I didn't think it would start a neighborhood crisis. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. Most neighbors admired the car, respectfully. Some took pictures from the sidewalk. Others walked by slowly, smiling as the sunlight bounced off the paint. But Karen and her 15-year-old son, Greg, their reactions were different. Greg became attached to the Lamborghini in a way that made no logical sense. Every morning, he hovered around it like it was a rare animal that needed observation. He circled it, squinted at it, inspected the wheels, and sometimes leaned so close I wondered if he planned to hug it. I figured he was just fascinated, because most teenagers would lose their minds seeing a supercar up close. So I didn't worry. Karen, however, watched with a strange sort of confidence, like she already had plans forming in her head. Before we dive in deeply, let us know in the comments what country or which city you're watching this story from. We'd love to know how far this story travels. I came out one morning ready to take my Lamborghini for a drive, expecting nothing more dramatic than the usual distant stares from neighbors. Instead, I found Karen standing confidently on my porch like she was delivering a royal decree. She didn't even greet me. She just launched straight into her newest absurdity. She told me her son Greg adored my car. I told her I'd noticed. Then she calmly explained that I should lend my Lamborghini to Greg so he could take it to school, gain respect from his classmates, and impress the girls. I genuinely thought she was joking until I saw her face, completely serious, like she was discussing a math assignment. Greg was 15, a high schooler, someone who didn't even have a driver's license. That was the child she expected me to entrust with a supercar worth more than her entire house. I laughed so hard she started blinking like her brain was buffering. Then I told her absolutely not. I figured she would walk away, rethink her audacity, and maybe even feel embarrassed. But Karen doesn't retreat. Karen reloads. Instead of accepting the refusal, she began hovering around my property at odd times. I'd catch her pretending to inspect the sidewalk or check on neighborhood safety while glaring at my car like it had personally offended her. Then came the parking fines. Ridiculous slips tucked under my windshield accusing me of blocking my own driveway or violating imaginary HOA rules she invented on the spot. I ignored them because paying attention to Karen only encourages her delusions. Still, every fine felt like a warning shot. Something in her had snapped the moment I refused her request, and she wasn't planning to let it go. She began whispering to neighbors, trying to stir drama. She'd pause outside my fence just long enough for me to notice. Her son kept staring at the car with that same obsessive energy. Everything felt like tension gathering before a storm. And the thing about storms is, you never know how destructive the first lightning strike will be. I had no clue things were about to escalate far beyond petty fines and unwanted visits. A week passed, and I naively assumed Karen had finally found a new obsession to terrorize. The neighborhood felt unusually calm, the kind of calm that makes you suspicious rather than relieved. Then one early morning, just after I parked my Lamborghini near the edge of my driveway and stepped inside to grab my keys, the alarm erupted like it was screaming for help. I rushed back outside and froze at the sight. Karen was yanking the door handle with frantic determination, her hair a mess, breathing hard, and looking absolutely unhinged. Right beside her stood Greg, backpack on, clearly ready for school, and apparently also ready to commit a felony before first period. I shouted for her to stop, but she acted like my voice was background noise. She yelled something about helping her son feel confident, as though breaking into my car at dawn was some inspirational pep talk. When I tried approaching, she actually attempted to shove me aside, swinging her arms like she was fighting invisible demons. I backed up, but she escalated instantly. She grabbed a large decorative stone from my lawn and, without hesitation, began smashing it against my windshield. Each hit created a spiderweb crack that spread across the glass like lightning. The moment the first blow landed, I pulled out my phone and dialed 911, reporting the vandalism while also recording video. Karen saw the phone, shrieked like I had insulted her ancestors, and turned her rage fully toward me. She charged, gripping the stone with both hands, raising it like she intended to strike. Greg watched with wide eyes, stunned but not enough to intervene. I stepped back, trying to avoid escalation, but she kept coming, swinging wildly while shouting nonsense about respecting authority. When she lunged again, aiming the stone directly at my head, instinct took over. I blocked her arm, smacked it aside, and pushed her away with defensive force. She stumbled backwards, lost her footing, and collapsed just as police sirens echoed down the street. Neighbors emerged, some recording, some whispering, while Greg stood frozen, backpack hanging low. Police cars rolled in with lights flashing while neighbors gathered on porches, whispering and filming. I stood off to the side, keeping my distance, as an officer checked Karen's pulse and asked me what happened. Before I could finish explaining, Karen suddenly groaned, twisted slightly, and snapped awake like someone rebooted her. She blinked up at the officers hovering over her, confused for half a second, then instantly switched back into full Karen mode. She tried to sit up, shouting that I attacked her, that the car belonged to the community, that she had authority. The officers didn't flinch. One calmly informed her that multiple neighbors had recorded the situation from start to finish. Another pointed out the stones still lying near her hand and the shattered windshield behind her. Greg stood a few feet away, pale and trembling, clutching his backpack like he wished he could disappear. As officers helped her to her feet, she continued yelling nonsense about rules and respect, but nobody paid attention. The neighborhood had seen enough. Statements poured in from witnesses describing how she'd harassed me for weeks, issued fake fines, trespassed repeatedly, and tried forcing me to hand over my Lamborghini to her teenage son. With every testimony, her arrogance cracked a little more. She kept trying to interrupt, but the officers shut her down every time. Once things settled, I exercised my right to pursue charges. The evidence was overwhelming: the video, the 911 call, the wrecked windshield, and the neighbors backing me up. When the legal process unfolded, Karen's confidence evaporated. The court ordered her to pay for a complete replacement of the damaged parts of my Lamborghini, cover restitution, and compensate me for property violation. The judge also granted a restraining order preventing her from coming near me, my house, or my car again. Watching her face drop as the judgment was read was the most peaceful moment this neighborhood had experienced in years. Greg stared at the floor the entire time, finally understanding there were consequences. After everything, I drove home knowing her reign of chaos was finally over. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.